Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today we're going to talk about a card in my wallet in my new series where I'm just kind of discussing my favorite cards that I use day in and day out. And this one is absolutely what I believe to be the greatest supplemental card in my setup. And that is the Citi Custom Cash. So as we get started, if you would hit the like and subscribe button, that helps me out a lot and I appreciate it. The Citi Custom Cash is a card that has no annual fee, which is always great because you get a card like that and you don't have to make the decision to keep, cancel, or downgrade every year. It's just kind of a long-term keeper card, even if it ends up being a sock drawer card, which to me, those are always helpful because they keep your utilization low, they give you more total available credit, and those kind of cards are just kind of a no-brainer. The thing about this card, though, is somebody might be wondering, well, should I use a 524 slot? And if you know what that is the kind of Chase's rule where they won't give you a new card if you have 5 new cards within the last 24 months. So some people might be hesitant to get it because, well, it'll take up a slot. But I'll tell you, I made the decision to get this card, and it has been just phenomenal. Now, I think it's more phenomenal if your setup is a basic Citi setup, but it earns one of the best type of multipliers for any card in kind of what we'd call a supplemental category. And that would put it in the same general type of card category as things like the Chase Freedom Flex or the Discover card that earn 5% in rotating categories. Well, this card, it earns 5% back on any category that you spend the most money on, as long as it's in the approved list of categories, which it's a big list. I mean, you've got things like gas, grocery, restaurants. I mean, all of kind of the big well-known categories. So this card up to $500 a month, it'll give you 5% back. Now, I really like it in my Citi setup because I have the Citi Prestige. Some people might have the Citi Strata Premier. My spouse has that. And so this card, we both have a custom cash, and we're allowed to take that 5%, move it over, connect it with our other card that has transfer partners. So the Strata Premier and, of course, my Citi Prestige card, they have access to Citi's transfer partners. And this card, therefore, is a fantastic earner. Now, I use it primarily as my gas card. Some quarters I'll rotate that out because if my Freedom Flex card has gas as one of the rotating categories, then I'll use this in one of the other categories. So it's always earning me up to that $500 a month, $1,500 a quarter, 5% back in something, which is just kind of the gold standard for returns in the credit card world. Now, when you think about this card and what it can mean in your setup, you can kind of set it and forget it. Some people I know will take this card and they'll just leave it in their car to be their dedicated gas card. Because if you spend money on any other category besides the one that you spend the most in, those are just getting one Citi point per dollar, which is not all that great. But to use it as a dedicated card in just one category, I think this is one of the most powerful cards there are. So is it good if you just have this card and your rest of your setup is maybe American Express or Chase? I think it's still good in that situation because you're still getting 5% back, just like you would on the rotating categories on the Discover card. But where it really is powerful is when you add it into a Citi trifecta or a Citi setup where you're able to move it over to the Strata Premier, or if you have a Prestige like mine, and be able to utilize the transfer partners. Now, the other thing that gives it a great boost is if you have the Citi Rewards Plus card, which is also a 0 annual fee card. And that card gives you 10% back when you redeem points. So if you connect all your points together, which you can do with Citi, that means really, in a way, this card's getting you even more than 5%. It's getting you maybe 5.5. So you can't hardly beat it. And to me, it's so much easier than worrying about the rotating categories because you get to choose. You have the power to decide What do I want that high earning in? Now, somebody might say, yeah, but $500 a month, that's not all that much. It's true. But there are ways to get more than one of these. Citi, one of the good things about them, they don't have as many cards to get, and they don't have, maybe the same quality of transfer partners as some of the others, but they do have their benefits. And one of those benefits is this. Citi will allow you to product change any credit card to any other credit card they have without any family rules. So what that means is that in most ecosystems, American Express, Chase, things like that, you can downgrade, say, a United card to a lower tier United card, or you can downgrade a Delta card to a lower tier Delta card. But you can't switch it to, say, an American Express Platinum or to a Chase Sapphire Preferred. You got to stay within the family of cards. Citi, they don't care. You can change any Citi credit card to any other Citi credit card. So how you would have more of these, even though you can only apply for one, you could apply for other cards after the year is up. Once you hit your annual fee or your renewal date, then you could call them and say, I want to change this to a Citi Custom Cash. And that would get you two. I've heard of people that have 3 or 4, and in a 2-player setup, you could pretty much, now it'd be a long-term play because you'd have to do it years at a time to kind of convert these over, but you could ultimately be earning 5, or if you have the Rewards Plus card, 5.5 or so points per dollar on almost every single category, which to me is like a powerful setup beyond any other, although it would take great patience and time to get there. So what does this mean? Well, to me, the Citi Custom Cash is just one of the best of the best. I utilize it every month. We have 2 of them. We use them in different categories. One in home improvement. We buy a lot of stuff at home improvement stores. The other is in gas. We're always getting 5+ points per dollar back on that and transferring them out to partners. So what do you think of the Citi Custom Cash? Do you have one? Do you have 2? Do you have 3? Tell me your strategy. Tell me if it's a useful card to you. When it comes to the sign-up bonus, it's not great. I think you get $200 back after you spend $1,500 in the course of 3 months' time. But, that's extra points. And long term, I don't see this card as one that you go for because you want the bonuses. I see this card as one you want to keep long term as a regular part of your daily spending setup. So tell me what you think below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you here next time.